popped this open here and I read it and it was just mind blowing. But there's this like AI technology that's being used to revitalize an indigenous language. And I didn't even know what this means. At first I was just kind of like, what on earth does this mean? But I read into it. It's happening here in Canada. Shout out to Vancouver Island. So there's this old language, right? It's called, and sorry, I'm going to butcher this, but it's KAWK'WALA. It's an old indigenous language that's only spoken by 140 people total, right? And these people are scattered all across Canada and they're in their 70s or 80s. So it's only reliant on them for their memories. So it's a hard language to learn because it's deeply linked with land, wellness, etc. And again, this pandemic time, you can't go outside and land, you know, and wellness is definitely not there with this pandemic. So they've used old recordings, like thousands of hours of old recordings, and transcribed it so that they can get relevant data from it. And then here they're connecting the pieces with like VR and AR to be able to teach people easily this old language that was only spoken by only like 140 people who could teach it, right? And then obviously you divide that pie even smaller, they're not going to be able to teach it. So you only have this handful of people that can teach it that requires this like hands-on approach to learning, like with land, etc. So it's this really cool concept that they're doing with AI right now to be able to teach languages again.
100%. It's such a cool combination of taking AI to do the problem solving and then AR to do the preservation.
Yeah.
AR as a preservation tool is really cool to me because, you know, we preserve things through photos, right? Once upon a time, we preserved them just through text, then photos, now video. And even when you take a video of something, it really doesn't bring back the memory the same way. You're almost looking at that memory as an observer rather than being there. And AR allows us to either be in the first person or be in an experience that once existed. Some examples, actually, our company, Tomorrow Inc., we did some AR preservation of the art gallery, right? Yeah. So during the pandemic, people couldn't go there. So we created an AR experience for people to visit the art gallery. But the cool thing is, and the thing that maybe they overlooked for a long time, was now they can archive the experience of that art gallery again in full 3 dimensions. Like they can explore it again in AR.
It's the most immersive way you can do it, right? And especially for like learning languages, right? Think about how much you need that hands-on approach. Or, I mean, think about it. You can't learn a language from a book necessarily, right? Mm-hmm. You have to go in there and be in the culture.
Much harder.
Yeah. So with VR specifically, I think these people were doing VR and AR. It's just making it so much more immersive for people to learn this stuff. And think about how over thousands of years we've lost these stories from people because people died, and back in the day, no one knew how to read, right? You were saying it was preserved in text, which is not even good anymore, right?
Yeah.
And this indigenous, for this indigenous story, that's literally what happened, right? People have just passed away through generations and generations. So this is the only way they can do it.
I could see the